I want to break up.
I'm happy to see you. Whoa. Okay.
The other day when I said I needed more time to think, that wasn't true. I want to break up. I'm sorry, I know the timing's shitty, but I was gonna do it no matter what when you got back from the bike trip. It's not about you going AWOL this summer, even though I'm really fucking pissed about that.
So you were planning this for a while.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's why you backed out of the bike trip.
No, I backed out of the bike trip because I didn't back out of the bike trip. I was never definitely going on the bike trip.
Okay, I remember it differently, but I guess it really
You knew I was applying for internships. You knew that.
Yeah, and I knew you were buying gear and training and like telling me you loved me, and it was important that we got to spend this time together before you left school. That's all.
Well, when Allison backed out...
Allison tore her ACL, dude. That's totally...
Fine. But it wasn't going to be the trip we'd planned. It wasn't going to be the four of us.
But you admit that we had planned a trip. You planned to come with us, and that was the plan. But I guess you were planning to break up with me. You just didn't let me in on that.
I'm sorry I didn't go on the bike trip. Okay?
No, it was good. It was amazing. Actually, to have that time with Micah, so I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Well, good.
I mean, it would have been nice to have you there when he was killed. Would have been nice to not be alone for that.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you'd showed up to the funeral. I really needed you then. Do you know how hurtful that was? And humiliating when everyone was like, where the fuck is Leo? And I was like, I don't know. He hasn't even called me.
But you were already planning to break up with me. Oh, what? I'm just trying to master the timeline here, Beck. It's a little confusing.
You're laying all this on me, but we had our problems. We were never gonna have the relationship that Micah and Allison had. I think we should just face that.
We? I don't even know what that means.
They were like grown-ups in love. Like really in love. I'm not saying that we didn't love each other.
No, you're saying I'm not a grown-up.
I'm saying even my mom still talks about it. What mature and like evenly balanced.
Oh, well, if Ellen thought so.
Don't be an asshole. You know what I mean. They had this serenity that you and I
actually thought it was the other way around, that we were the real deal, because I thought about you basically all the time when you weren't around, and talked about you like some lovesick idiot, whereas Micah never thought about Allie at all.
That's because he didn't have to.
I think you have some very weird, very idealized picture of the relationship, because it might interest you to know that he cheated on her, actually.
Okay.
Like, several times, with some extremely questionable specimens.
It's not cheating when you have an open relationship, and that's not really any of my business, and I don't think it's cool at all to talk about him like that.
I just think it's interesting that your idea of a perfect relationship involves your boyfriend getting a BJ from the 15-year-old whose uncle owns the campground.
My idea of a perfect relationship involves feeling like I don't have to constantly justify myself all the fucking time because the person who claims to be in love with me is constantly disappointed in me. I'm tired of disappointing you, Leo. And fuck you for telling me about Micah. I did not want to know that. Hi, I'm Hailee Domagalski. I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Some things that I am passionate about are exploring gender in Shakespeare, comedy, especially sketch comedy, both as a writer and performer, advocating for social justice issues such as gender equality. I love cooking, and I'm passionate about fitness. I could write an entire thesis on what being an artist means to me. I approach being an artist holistically, as an actor specifically. I view being an artist meaning being a catalyst for expanding the audience's worldview, creating a greater sense of empathy for the whole spectrum of the human experience. On top of being an actor and theater artist, I am also a visual artist. I enjoy ceramics, printmaking, and painting. Even when I cook, I strive to make my food not only look like a work of art, but also taste like it. Actor Carrie Fisher once said, "I don't want my life to imitate art. I want my life to be art." I think about this quote a lot and use it to guide me, and I am so proud to be able to consider myself an all-encompassing artist. Thank you so much for letting me share some of my work with you, and I hope that we can work together again in the near future.